Stopping the violence in our city is so important to improve our lives, of course, right now, but also the future for our children. So we wanted to talk to some Metro students to find out how violence is impacting their lives, because as we all know, really, you guys are our future. It sounds silly, but it is the truth. I have kids of my own, and we want this world to be a better place, don't we?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Okay, so let's talk about this. How has violence impacted your life, Kivian?
Well, I have an uncle that was shot. He was a victim of gun violence. He was shot in his mouth. And I currently have another uncle that is incarcerated for committing a murder.
And how has this impacted your family?
It's hard. It's definitely hard, especially when you're close with them and you're used to seeing them every day and spending time with them. And then now you're seeing them behind bars, or you talking to them on the other end of the phone. They can't talk to you. You can't see them. It's very hard. It's very hard.
Okay, Raciana, what about you?
Well, my brother and father are both incarcerated for things that have to do with gun violence.
And I'm assuming, I mean, your father and your brother, were you close to them?
Yeah, very close.
So I assume that's hard for you and your family.
Yeah, it's hard because you go from living with someone and going to school with them, seeing them every day, to just not seeing them at all, or seeing them every once in a while, getting a phone call every once in a while.
And what types of things have you seen just in the community, Vanessa, that are troubling to you, violence-wise?
Well, just this past year, we had one of our students at our school shot within the school parameters. And I feel like that was such a young life, any person. But it really hit our school spirit when we saw one of our own being taken away in front of us.
And Shelby, let's talk about bullying. Have you witnessed any bullying or heard stories or anything like that?
I've definitely heard stories. It's not so much something you come out and say, I've been bullied. You say, oh my gosh, I can't believe somebody did this to me. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they said that.
And I think as adults, we don't realize that all of you have seen these things and how it affects you. I mean, I assume having another student at your school get shot, I assume that's hard to deal with, even if it's not someone you knew.
Of course, we tried to build a strong student body spirit that week because we knew that there were a lot of people mourning, especially the family. So we try to lift our spirits up and keep them up. But of course, it's hard to see a person your own age just speak on like that.
Kivian, do you think, since it feels like we're hearing so many more stories of violence in our city, that it's becoming more common, almost like we expect it?
I feel like, personally, I feel like when I hear about violence, it's like another thing that should happen when it shouldn't happen, you know? It's kind of like, well, I'm used to it. It's not something that really bothers us anymore, which is a problem. It should definitely bother us. We should definitely want to make a change. But I think as humans, once you're adapted to something, once you're used to something, it's kind of just like an everyday thing, violence seems to be like an everyday thing to us now.
So how can we change that? What can we do to stop that?
I think it starts with us. I think it starts with our teens, our age. I think when you look at the statistics and you think of who's committing the murders, it's our age. You know, I think it starts with the things that we go through, the things that we see, what we're open to. I don't really know.
Well, it's a tough thing because there's not one clear-cut answer. But what about kindness? It sounds so simple, but showing kindness to someone, you know, maybe that you see at the grocery store or that you see just walking down the street. Do you think, Raciana, that doing those little things, each of us, that can help spread that message?
Being kind to someone always helps through everything because you don't know what someone has going on at home. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they're feeling inside. So just being kind to someone could make someone's day, could make them change their whole mindset from doing something crazy or just anything.
Absolutely. I mean, a little bit of kindness goes a long way. Have you seen some kindness recently that made you stop and say, wow, that was such a simple thing, but such a beautiful moment.
Yeah, definitely. I see people all the time when I'm going to the store, I have 2 schools, and as I'm driving, I'll see some kind acts, and even if it's just a small comment saying, hey, you look great today, or holding the door open for someone and smiling at them, not just letting them pass by. And, we don't know what people are going through. So I feel like random acts of kindness can definitely boost up the motivation to be kinder in our community, in our society.
It sounds like you guys have it figured out. If we can just, all of us as a community, right, get it all figured out. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We appreciate it so much, hearing your thoughts. As I mentioned, you really are the future. And we need to get it together, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah, we do. We'll be right back.